Hi, and welcome back to another video tutorial here at the Daily Digi. My name is Janet Phillips, and I just want to show you a fun little trick using my clone stamp tool. The clone stamp tool is a great thing that you can use in Photoshop Elements or in Photoshop in order to paint on your photo something from another part of the photo. Now let me show you what I mean. The clone stamp tool is just such a great and versatile thing, and I use it a lot in my photo editing. Here's an example of a picture in which I obviously have some work to do. I was shooting a wedding a couple of weeks ago, and my bride and groom wanted to do all their photos before the ceremony, but that meant doing them in the middle of the afternoon when it was bright sun overhead. And they wanted to go out into this really big field near the church. And it was such a beautiful idea, and yet shooting in the full sun in the middle of the day was not going to produce the results that they were hoping for. In order to expose for the grass in the sky, the bride's dress would have been completely blown out, meaning that it would be so bright white that I wouldn't be able to retain any of the details. So in order to accomplish this picture, I needed my assistant, otherwise known as my husband, who was carrying my gear and helping me that day, to use my diffuser to block the sun from them so that her dress wouldn't be blown out. Well, it worked beautifully for blocking the sun and doing what I wanted to do, but somehow I don't think that this bride and groom are really going to want my husband standing in the middle of their picture. Well, that's okay. I knew when I edited this that I would be able to easily get rid of him, and I just want to show you how I did that using the clone stamp tool. Now, on the actual image that I'm going to give the bride and groom, I'm going to spend longer on it, just making sure it's perfect, but just for our purposes today, I just want to show you how quick and easy this can be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this area that I'm working on. And this is actually a pretty simple fix. I just need to get rid of everywhere my husband is. Now there's a number of different ways I can do this, but I'm just going to use my clone stamp tool. I'm going to hit S on my keyboard, or I could go over here to where the clone stamp tool. Now what you want to do when you use this tool is I'm going to be painting over my husband, the part I want to get rid of, but I'm going to be painting over it with a part of the picture from a different location in the picture. And because I want it to blend in, I'm going to pick areas that are near my husband, but obviously not my husband. So what I need to do is I'm going to take my cursor and I'm going to put it up here where I'm going to get started. And then I'm going to hit Alt or Option on my Mac keyboard, and what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to hold it down, and then I'm going to click outside the area. What I'm doing right now is I'm telling my computer this is the area that I want to paint. So I'm going to click there, and it's going to say it's going to grab my sample from there. Now actually I need to increase my brush size. I'm going to use my right bracket key, or I could go up here to my size, but I'm just using my right bracket key, and I am going to about maybe there, okay? Because it's about roughly the width of my diffuser. And I'm going to hit Alt or Option, and I'm going to click there, and I'm saying that's the area that I want to start painting from. So see, now when I click on this, you can see the circle is where I'm actually painting, and that little cross is where my sample is coming from, okay? Now again, this is just a real cursory first going over. Now you can see obviously that's not perfect. I've still got the side of this. So I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to pick another sample, just click there, and I'm going to slowly just work on it. I just want it to look natural. Obviously I don't want any lines, I want things to blend in. And with sky it's a pretty easy thing to do because it's all going to blend pretty easily. Now I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to be picking new places to sample, and I'm just going to start painting over my husband. And I tend to try to grab from different areas close to where I'm painting so that the colors match, but not all exactly the same, so I don't end up with two duplicate images. For example, if I picked to come out here, I could do that, but I'm just going to end up having extra trees and different things, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to keep, and I tend to, rather than make great sweeping motions, I tend to do some just clicking in smaller bits, okay? Now I need to be careful because I'm at the horizon line, and I want to make sure that that does well. So actually I'm going to go down here to the bottom, and I'm going to start working my way here. I'm going to enlarge my brush size a little bit. I'm going to click there, and now I'm going to start, you grabbed it a little bit too much, and I'm going to start painting upwards. And again, this is just my first pass over, so I'm not worried about it being perfect. Okay, I'm going to zoom in here because I need to do a little bit more work right where the horizon meets. So I'm going to make my brush size smaller, and I'm going to pick from here. Now, since right over here you can see a little bit of a tree line, I'm actually just going to mimic that and just kind of let it keep going. And you can see I'm just grabbing, I'm sampling this other part of the photo, but just to make it look a little bit more natural. Okay. Now let me go in here. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to see if there's any spots that I think either look repetitive, like there's from another part of the photo, like things look duplicated, or if things look a little fuzzy. Right here, I'm just going to mimic a little bit more of this grass. It looks a little fuzzy where I deleted my husband. It sounds kind of funny, deleting my husband. You know, there are days that I would like to delete my husband. But on this day, he was brilliant. He was a wonderful assistant, and I couldn't have been happier. Okay? So that's just a quick overview of using the Clone Stamp tool. And here, if I go to my other example, you can see where there's my husband. I'll zoom in for you so you can see it again. There you see him, and there you don't. And so that was just a quick way using my Clone Stamp tool that I was able to erase my husband out of this picture. So I encourage you just to play with your Clone Stamp tool. I use this in my photo editing a lot. This is how I get rid of street signs. This is how I get rid of annoying things that are in pictures. For example, in the same wedding, in the ceremony, there was a big black spot on the wall in every single one of the ceremony pictures. It was something that I don't even know what was on the wall, but just using my Clone Stamp tool, I was able to just get rid of it in all my photos. I use the Clone Stamp tool to really just get rid of a lot of distractions with actually taking another part of the photo and painting it on the part of the photo that I'm trying to cover up. So it's a great tool and you can do a lot with it. So I encourage you to give it a try and let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching.